Hey, what's up, man? Thank y'all for tuning in. So I got the WNBA again that I'm about to recap. So the Mercury is on a two-game losing streak. After the New York Liberty was also on a two-game losing streak. They broke their streak tonight by beating the Phoenix Mercury. And I wanted to say that the Phoenix Mercury don't look too good. Although they got Diana Taurasi, um, I feel like they losing games based on defensive collapses. A lot of times, man, they be in the game. I mean, they started off rough, at least in this game, the last game with them playing versus the New York Liberties. They end up coming back after, like I said, after have a rough start. It was 33-14 at one point. So they came back, tied it up, took the lead 65 to 0, and then they gave the lead up. Turnovers start to set in. Now, when you look at this team, yes, they're a veteran team. They're a team that could compete with most of them, but I feel like this is just going to be an ongoing thing, far as them making mistakes down the stretch. Because if you really look at it, man, they got Diana Taurasi and then they got Kalia Copper. Now, when they aren't playing as well as they should, then I mean, you already know what the team gonna do. You already know how it's gonna pan out. You know how it's gonna turn out. So tonight, Copper ended up having 20 points, and Tarasi she did well, knocked some big threes down, and then on the flip side, New York Liberties, Breanna Stewart does what she always do, which is, dominate, get to the rim, shoot the three. Like she can do it all. So that's why, I have her in one of my top 10 superstar lists because she's been delivering like literally every game except for the one when she really played versus Angel Reese. But I think mental mistakes. As you can see, I got them versus the Connecticut Suns and the the them versus the New York Liberties. And the reason I put both of them is because I wanted to talk about the games, on this one live. And I just see basically from the Phoenix Mercury's is that they're not staying locked in for the whole duration of the game, which is equating to them losing. They're equating, is literally equating to them losing. Natasha Cloud did a phenomenal job tonight, but she's not consistent. Sophie Cunningham did better than what she did versus the Connecticut Suns. They went 2 from 11. Kalia Cloud went 2 from 11. You ain't gonna be able to win if it's inconsistency. And then on top of that, you have to lock in each play. And from what I see, Diana Taurasi, she getting up there in age, so she's not doing the things that she once did. Half steals, get the blocks. She still can control the game. She made some tough shots, but you got to also look at how she even scored her points. They were all broken plays. Every time it can't be a broken play. They need more of a post presence outside of Kalia Copper. They need more of a post presence. Now I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? These are the two women that you rely on, Donna Taurasi and Kalia Copper, but they can't they can't be the only ones that basically compete night in, night out. The others needs to be putting in more contribution. They need to be doing the dirty work. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, she's in her 40, Diana Taurasi, and I don't know how much longer she'll be able to keep it up. But I know that when it comes to the defensive end, when it comes down to making the 50-50 plays, all of the other players need to make sure that they doing what they supposed to do. And I don't see that's happening. Phoenix Mercury, I think they're going to be an okay team, but with a 3-4 record, you know what I'm saying? Like The good news is that most of their games been away. They haven't had their home games. You know what I'm saying? That's the good news. But the bad news is they already lost 4 games out of 7. They lost 4 out of 7 and in some winnable games. This was one of them. They were actually up 65 to 60. And when that was the case, a turnover was thrown for a fast break layup. Can't win like that. You know what I'm saying? Can't win like that. I be trying to root for the Phoenix Mercury, but sometimes it be hard to do so. But now I will say, they did way better, much better, much better than yesterday's game because they were Sophie Cunningham and Kalia Copper was both 1 from 11. The highest scorer was 9 points. Ain't nobody gonna win like that. Ain't no wonder they only scored 47 points. You know what I'm saying? So the New York Liberties is starting off well. Like I say, uh they only played one away game. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I'm just trying. Like I say, I'm trying to get into the WNBA, but it's just too much stuff, man. It just kind of make it just a little bit hard. You know what I'm saying? It's like just turnovers that you will feel that like a high school schooler would make. It's I don't know, man. It's hard. It seemed like every time I end up doing like a recap, it's the same thing. The only team that I see that's levels above everybody, and that's just my opinion, is the Las Vegas Aces. They play the game the right way. Everybody else is kind of like everything is just fast paced. But then some teams that play fast paced would do better if they just play a half court game. If they just slow the ball down, move the ball, from in and out, start within the post, and then kick the ball out, move the ball around, do some pick and rolls and stuff like that, they'll do way better. But then you got teams that's continuing to try to play at a fast pace and it's not working in their favor. Everybody wants to play like the Warriors, and that's not a winning formula for the WNBA. At least on some on some teams, they're not that good at playing the fast pace. And the other thing too is the team that I actually see that mentioned that played the right way, Las Vegas Aces, they actually play a half court game. They they set the plays. They set screens. They move the ball. They make the right plays and they shoot it when they open. And then on top of that, you got Asia Wilson, who's great in the post. She can literally do it all. She can shoot three and she can post. You know what I'm saying? So other teams need to get acclimated. They lucky that most of the teams continue to play a certain way. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know if I need to go ahead and get some license to coach because it doesn't seem like the coaches is making the right reads. It really seems that way. Teams that should be taking their time to set up the play. Most of these teams should be playing like the San Antonio Spurs, where they just run the play, run the offense, and take what the defense give them. Instead, force force the ball. There's a lot of block shots every game. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you'll get about maybe 3 or 4 in the game in the NBA or something like that, or you'll get somebody that get about 3, but it mainly just be one player mainly, and it's the center. A lot of these ladies, they get blocked. They get blocked a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it's very hard, man. It's very hard to watch. And like I say, one of my favorite teams in the WNBA, although I'm not going to be having favorites as far as being biased, but one of my favorite teams has been to watch the Las Vegas Aces. You know what I'm saying? They very consistent. And now I see why there's an uproar about Asia Wilson not having a shoe deal, being that she playing the way that she plays. She plays the right way, and she's very good, and she's one of my top in my top 10 as I would say superstars. Now, I took out Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. They're already superstar, but I'm talking about play, the ones who actually deserve it. And in fact, I'm gonna do a podcast where I'm talking about the my top 10, and then I'll give you my top four honorable mentions. You know what I'm saying? But like that's what I'm looking at. I've been looking at and studying players that should be in the like in the promotion. The players that they should be drumming up as one of the matchups. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, Caitlin Clark played versus Asia Wilson. Angel Clark. I mean, I say Angel Clark. Um, Angel Reese played versus Asia Wilson. Caitlin Clark plays versus Arike Agubuale. Caitlin Clark plays versus Darika Hamby, right? Play versus all these teams. Play versus Dewana Bonner. All these teams. So when these teams play, we have a idea like, okay, the matchups. Oh, who should we be looking forward to? You know what I'm saying? But like far as the individual play, you got some really good players. You got some really great players. But as far as a team, I think even when they make the substitutions, it just don't translate to a lot of people because, like I say, you have missed layups. Um, you have some women that just take some crazy shots. You have a lot of air balls. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just so many things that needs to be fixed. And I'm a firm believer that they really should lower the rim. That'd be dope to see ladies dunking amongst each other, dunking on each other. I think that'll help the game. But some people, like they don't think so. But I definitely believe that the Phoenix Mercury they have the talent, but they definitely need to make sure that they got the right game plan. Because so far I haven't seen it. I have not seen the right game plan. I haven't. You know what I'm saying? I think they should have won this game, but due to the turnovers and the carelessness, they end up losing. You feel what I'm saying? So uh, yeah, so they on a 2-game losing streak, and the New York Liberties break their 2-game losing streak, and they basically, um, I guess, like in the same boat, if you ask me, because New York Liberties, although they won tonight, they're not looking the best. They almost lost as well. They should have lost tonight. It should have been a 3-game losing streak for them. But hey, man, when you got a teammate that help you, that basically do everything to give you the win, that's what's gonna happen. So I'll say this. I'll say this. The WNBA has a lot of potential, but so far the expectations that has been set and placed on these young ladies, um, I think overall they're failing. I think overall, if you had to grade them, I give them a C plus because you can't ask for people to watch a game, support you, and then not play like professionals. It's a lot of mistakes that are being made that should not be being made by professionals. You're asking for more money, but then all of these turnovers are being done and committed, and all these steals are being had, and all these blocks are being made. I don't think nobody pay to try to see people get blocks. People pay to see scoring, to see legitimate offense, to see good defense. So far, it looks like the young ladies are lost. A lot of the times, these young ladies literally be looking lost on the court, and you can't say or try to guilt somebody from not watching your game, and you're not playing the way that y'all supposed to be playing. It's only so far that the game is going to grow if these young ladies continue to play the way that they play. It's like half the time, it's like they throwing the ball up. Half the time. When they're in the post, they got a few ladies. Derica Derica, I say Jaquel um is and then what's the other lady name? Asia. Those are the three main ones that can actually post. Oh, and when Camilla Cardoso come back, those are the ladies that can post. Most of these young ladies, they get blocked so much because they don't know how to post. And one of the ones also is Angel Reese. Her post presence is kind of non-existent. But when she's able to get that down pat, who she'll be looking like is Asia Wilson, left-handed lady, 6'3", 6'5", in the post presence. Once you get the footwork down, she'll be good. But outside of that, man, I don't know what to say. So far, we're about 9 games in, and I have to give it a grade. And like I say, it's a C minus, C plus, far as on the level of play. But hey, man, I'm just trying to do my part. I'm about to get ready to also do a um, a podcast on Angel Reese based on her game, them losing versus who was it? Was it Connecticut? I believe no, versus the Storm, versus Skylar Diggins, Smith in the Storms. So I'm gonna talk about that one as well because I think the Chicago Skies is one of the teams that actually has the most potential. If you really look at it, they don't really lose by much. They lost both of these games, and it could have went either way. So I'll be talking about that probably tonight. Although they played yesterday, like I said, I still want to make sure that I give my perspective on the team, and and basically bring light and share light to the WNBA. But it's hard to keep people watching it when they are playing the way that they are playing. So I want to encourage the WNBA to not only promote certain players, but I also want to encourage them to, enhance the quality of the basketball game. The coaches need to put more emphasis on the defensive end because if you look at it, most of the young ladies that score, they score within the paint, and a lot of it just be them just throwing it up. You feel what I'm saying? So it don't even look good. The product right now don't look good. It don't look good. And I gotta be honest. That's the one thing I will always be is honest. The product of the WNBA looks flawed. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully Caitlin can keep doing her thing. She just scored a career high, 30 points, but she got to get rid of them turnovers. That's the thing. She has 6 assists, but she also has 7 turnovers. So we gotta pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to the fact that too many turnovers are being thrown. Too many games are being blown. Too many, what I'm saying, like too many plays that just doesn't make sense when it comes to basketball for anybody that knows it. But I definitely commend those who are trying to support and get behind the product. But this is the make or break year. This is the make or break year. So we'll see, man. But that's all I got, man. I thank y'all for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. If not, I just thank y'all for being in here. That's all I got for now.